What's going on? This is another episode of the Millionaire Savings Plan. Um, basically, uh, I've been kind of like just thinking about how can I focus in on more of my book, and basically, I've never strayed from all aspects of talking about money, personal finance. I've kind of talked about all kind of different things, but I'm gonna pretty much try to center things in on um, basically my book. The title of my book is, of course, the Millionaire Savings Plan. Um, excuse my lips. It's just I think what's the weather today in the Midwest? Well, right now it's let's see here. It's pretty cold. That's all I know. Um, so yeah, it's like 3 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's it's below it's below freezing. Okay, you set a glass of water outside. It's gonna freeze and probably crack. Um, so yeah, it is cold outside. But anyway, like I was saying, I'm gonna be talking more about personal finance, and definitely going to be talking more about my book as well, in all aspects related to such. So, without further ado, the title of this video and what I'm going to be talking about is certain words that they have dual meanings. They might not be spelled the same. Some of the words that I'm going to be talking about, they actually are the same word, but they have also dual meanings. But the first of these words, basically what I'm going to be talking about is that how they relate to the financial world, their financial terms, and they're also terms in life in general. So, for example, uh, the word physical and actual uh, physical. I might have spelled this wrong. Let me check my spelling on this. I checked the word physical, but let me see here. Make sure. Yeah, I spelled that right. So yeah, one of the things that I feel that I stand corrected as far as words being a published author is that I have to really watch my words and my pronunciations as well, my grammar, because I feel like I basically am responsible to be perfect in that regard as much as I possibly can. But anyway, the first word that I'm going to be talking about is physical and physical. So if you don't know the financial term physical, basically it means very similarly to the word physical. Uh, your the shape of your body. How physically you're in shape. I mean, we already are in the 25th day of January. A lot of people start off the new year talking about, um, they're gonna get some type of resolution, and a lot of times it's uh, tends to do something with weight, losing weight. Like a lot of people are overweight, and they try to start some type of New Year's resolution. Well, physical in the financial term, FISICAL, is very similarly. It's a word that actually talks. Basically, it's a word that says basically how your bottom line is, how your financial bottom line is. Are you physically okay to take care of your family? Are is a company is a company's physical policy good in a such where it could fund all of its operations without, going out of business? Like, for example, a lot of companies during the pandemic, they turned out to, appear to be doing very well financially. And, you wouldn't think, oh, this company only has, less than a month worth of budget, physical capital to actually operate. And in turn, a lot of companies, they were not physically able to operate with shutdown. Basically, when March 2020, when a lot of businesses that were considered non-essential were scrambling, trying to figure out how are they going to conduct business, how are they going to operate during basically stay-at-home order. Well, it come to find out that a lot of companies that it seemed like they were relatively doing well financially, they were physically not able to operate past uh, months of not getting any type of money coming into their doors or businesses or being able to operate. They had to. Some companies had to go out of business. Some companies had to basically put their employees on hiatus or furlough, long-term furlough. And then sometimes some of the cases where they put their employees on furlough and they ultimately had to let them go because their physical policy, their physical bottom line money was not enough to basically withstand long periods of being able to shut down. Okay. So that is, goes into your physical, and then, not being healthy. A lot of people are getting just basically lambasted with this pandemic and this virus and all these other things. Is because their body is not physically, basically all there together. I mean, they don't have the proper uh, immunity, to deal with a lot of different things coming at their way, such as any type of virus, whether it be a cold or flu or whatever. Their body is just not uh, functioning properly to handle a lot of stress, any type of foreign um, bacteria or anything coming into their system. Their body is not able to handle that. And that leads into a short commercial break, because one also, I am definitely a herbalist, and I sell herbs. So I'm gonna play you this lovely melody, and gonna pay some bills here and play this video. Come check out owlsherbs.com, where we have all of your herbal needs and different variety of products, from sea moss to black seed oil, and a different variety of products for different health issues, because your health is your wealth. Okay, now that we got that out the way, and definitely your health is your wealth, because you can have the best physical policy and have a lot of money, and you could still be sick as a dog and be, gone early. You know, and it's just, you can't have one over the other. It's always a balance. So the thing is that when it comes to actual your physical body, you do need to make sure you are in tip top, shape. I mean, if it's ever was a time that you should focus on your health, it's definitely now. I'm not saying that money is not important, but the thing about it is, I definitely will say both of them correlate. You could be a lot more comfortable if you have money versus a lot of discomfort when you don't have money, as well as you can buy some of the best healthcare. You can buy definitely my entire store. I'll never forget my first year operating alsherbs.com. I don't know where this guy came out of. I don't know how I found this guy, whether it be Google, whether it be Facebook or YouTube. I'm not sure. But this one guy, he bought one item of my most expensive item, each item out of my store, literally. And the thing about it is, I mean, when I first started, I really didn't have a lot of stuff in stock. I always knew I already sourced my products, so I already were able to basically, if anybody orders something, I would just scramble to order it real quick. But I wasn't fully my herbs business at that time when I first started, which was back in 2019. It wasn't fully stocked. But the guy, he ordered everything in my store, like one of each. I mean, he ordered like 100 capsules. He didn't order like 50 capsules. He ordered like 100 capsules of each of my product line at the time. And what he did was he actually helped fund my entire website, literally, because I wasn't even fully stocked. And that order helped me get everything I needed, because I actually had to get it to fulfill his order. I had some stuff, but yeah, I had to actually took me about a week to get everything in, and I shipped his order right out, and I've never looked back. I mean, I've been fully stocked since. So yeah, the thing is that is if it's ever was a time that you should focus on your health, it's definitely now. If you think about it, I mean, a lot of people are not faring well is because they have bad physical health. That is a fact. That makes no bones about it. That is an absolute fact. So, moving along, now we got that out the way. This is just one word, and it has two connotations. It's one. I've talked about this before, but it's basically class. Class is a lot of people. I listen to a lot of BGS Itmore. I think he's also writing a book about the octane scales. And the octane scales is, a lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people don't get it. And the octane scales have very much something to deal with what class someone is, as well as where they rank in that class. And a lot of people just don't understand that. They just don't get it. And I get it. It was something that is very much ingenious. Because it's something that I use in my toolkit, but I don't really use it. I don't really use it as much, but it definitely is something that kind of relates to what I'm talking about. Because when it comes to class, you actually have an actual class where it be like what I talked about, where it be if you're in the working class, poverty, upper class, a middle class, and of course the elite class. Um, and the thing is that what people don't understand also is that just because you have a lot of money, it doesn't mean that you're automatically an elite. that's the that's the funny thing about it. That's the thing about money that people don't understand. Okay, so for example, just because someone has $10 million in the bank tomorrow, and let's just say they, were basically kind of like, let's just say they were in poverty. They grew up in poverty. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean they get a $10 million tomorrow. All of a sudden, they're in the upper class. As far as them being able to move comfortably into the upper class, and basically just walk around and talk the lingo, know what how to operate. Very much the person that got $10 million tomorrow, that let's just say is from the projects in Tupelo, Mississippi, they're very much just gonna be the same person that they were in Tupelo with $10 million. They just gonna be able to buy more of the things that they wanted to buy, and it probably will be odd the things that they buy. They might buy they might buy like a car from the 1970s and put $20,000 in rims, sounds, and paint and tinted windows and interior in the car, and yeah, they'll move into a nice mansion with the same car, and then they'll look odd because it's like, what the hell is this big long ass dunk doing, with these big, these loud sounds coming down the street. Of course, people call the police on them, and they just wouldn't necessarily fit in. And the question is also, will this person even be able to, keep that money? A lot of times, people that get riches overnight, they don't keep that money, because in order to know how to keep money, a lot of times people that actually learn how to make it over time knows how to actually keep it, versus people that just get it overnight. Just think about anybody from you know movie stars, rappers, singers, got a whole bunch of money, and then now they delivering DoorDash like me. Like, okay, it's all right that I deliver DoorDash, even though I really, I don't necessarily have to. But the thing about it is, an extra $10,000 to $15,000 a year. I mean, I can't necessarily pass that off. But you would think, for, let's say, for example, your favorite R&B star from the '90s, why it shouldn't be no reason that that person in 2020 or whatever, 22, is doing DoorDash. But it goes into actually knowing how to actually stay in that realm, as far as financial class. Like I say, elite class, upper class, middle class, working class, poverty. A lot of times, people that get those millions, they don't know how to keep those millions. They don't know how to sustain those millions over the course of time. You know, because the thing about class is, it's also something that is not monetarily. You can actually, I've seen people and I've met people that they had class, for versus they knew how to speak. They knew how to treat people as far as their mannerisms. They knew how to dress, and they weren't rich. I've even met people that had basically very good class, and in the projects. It might sound strange, but your class doesn't necessarily, some certain aspects about class is non-monetarily. It doesn't have anything to do with how much money you have. Ability to be intelligent is it doesn't necessarily cost a lot of money to actually read books. The library is free. Um, you know, being able to talk and being able to enunciate words, be able to you know, verbally speak to people, know how to speak to people, how to read, you know, people's body language. A lot of those things don't necessarily cost. It comes from experience. And being able to know how to dress, uh, you know, I'm not gonna say you can't go to school and learn these things, like let's just say fashion school, but you don't necessarily have to, you know. And you know, being able to actually learn how to manage your money. I get you that, you know, being able to manage your money. If your mom, if your dad did not teach you, you definitely will have to learn that. But it doesn't. Just think of how much it would cost. You know, like my book, for example. It's nothing stopping a library to buy a whole bunch of my books and put it in a library, or somebody actually, you know, if you let's just say if you can't afford to buy the Millionaire Savings Plan, all you have to do is go to a library, any local library, and ask them to request to buy the Millionaire Savings Plan, and they'll literally order the book and have it in the library. Especially like people that work at a library or work anywhere, people don't like people that bug them. Like even myself, like, you know, I work in corporate America, you know, and I work in IT. That's my main bread and butter. That's how I deal with the short game in life. You don't know what I'm talking about, you gotta watch my videos. Um, Basically, the people that bug me, I really try to get them out of my hair, especially if they have something valid that they, you know, concern or something like that. I try to really deal with their problem so they can wait and find something to bug me about again. But a lot in the case of a library, yeah, you can definitely recommend them to purchase books. They have to purchase books. They're a library. You know, they have tax funding, and they have to order books. So literally, all you have to do is, like, let's just say you were just piss pot poor. You can just go to the library and ask them to order, you know, the Millionaire Savings Plan. They have to order it. You know, it might take them some time, but they will literally order the book, and it'll be in their library. So it's like literally, you know, certain educational aspects that you can get that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with class, you know. But usually people in the upper class, middle, I'll just say middle, all across class systems. Let's just say all across class systems, but usually the upper class and elites, even the middle class, their children from that are taught to be just like their parents are, usually. You know, so typically they do have that same class system ingrained in them, you know. So it could be good and it could be bad, because let's just say in the case of middle class and below, it's not a good thing. And it goes into why people act the way they do and behave the way they do and have the actions that they do. Like, for example, I pretty much grew up in a middle class household. That's not necessarily a good thing. Um, I'm appreciative that my parents worked and everything like that. But the thing is that if I just go with what my parents did, I'll end up just in a state of mediocrity, unfortunately, that I don't want to be in. I don't want to be mediocre, you know. I don't want to be below mediocre either, but I don't want to be in a state of mediocrity in the middle, you know. So it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Now, another word is leverage. Okay. Um, you have, this term is financially related, such as financial leverage is like, say for example, you have a company. Let's just say Apple. Apple has a lot of financial leverage. They can actually buy an entire company. Okay, if they wanted to, they can go buy an automotive company tomorrow. Um, they can just go to, a company. Let's just say uh, any any of these like rival automotive companies that, like, or let's just say electric companies. They can write a blank check and actually make a partnership and buy an electrical car company like overnight, because they have the financial leverage to be able to do that. Well, I mean, in personal terms, you could actually have leverage over people. Uh, you can have physical leverage. I mean, if you're a big person, if you're tall, if you like above 6 feet when you walk down the street, you know, you have a certain level of leverage because you are a force to be reckoned with. You could be a part of a group or organization that your group, your membership holds with a group body some type of leverage, where you can, form up like Voltron, and then you guys, have some type of level of leverage, you know. So, the last one that is pretty much a favorite talking point, even in the you know, the, the guise of World War III. You got the Russians, trying to, march west. People are still talking about relationships, sex, and problems with relationships. People still, that's a pretty popular talking point. That is something that I just don't really talk about that much. But in a financial world, I'll say that it helps to have partnerships in business, financial partnerships, business partnerships. It definitely helps to have a partner, like a business partner. My grandfather, my late grandfather, he was a millionaire. He was a millionaire entrepreneur, store owner. He owned the apartment buildings above the stores. But even just imagine this. Even with him being a millionaire and making millions of dollars, having a pharmacy and a liquor store and a bar and a laundromat and apartments above those buildings, he had a partner. His partner was also making millions. They were making so much money that he was still a millionaire, and he had to split profits. Okay, that was the value of a good partnership. Okay, I think one of them got the liquor license or something like that, and they one was able to get it better than the other or something like that. Once they got that liquor license, pretty much they were in business and making money right away. But the thing is that he had a partner. He had a business partner. Okay. And, obviously in life, another partner. He had my grandmother that was opening up the stores at, like, 4 or 5 in the morning, getting them, money together for the change and going to the bank early in the morning. He also had a partner. So, I do value relationships. Don't get me wrong. I definitely value relationships. As far as the, financial gurus that I've studied, and in my study and research of, millionaires, and you got the book, The Millionaire Next Door, most definitely, most millionaires have some type of wife, you know, They don't. They're not. You know, the average millionaire is not a flamboyant playboy that's getting down how he lives and basically having sex with random women every night. It just isn't. That's not the case, unfortunately. If it was the case, I would be like, oh, okay, well, that's the case. It is what it is. But the average millionaire actually has a wife that he's been married to for quite a long time. My grandparents were married for like over 50 years. So the thing is that that's definitely still the game plan. You know, I don't care if Russia's at the gates, Rome is burning. you still want to you still want to focus on relationships. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, having a partner definitely does help. The problem is, this is the problem, and I shouldn't laugh because it's definitely a series. A lot of people get strags, like, they get involved with strags, and then next thing you know, uh, life comes at them like this.
Fatality.
Yep. So yeah, when you dealing with and then also I looked up the word strags. Strags is actually men and also women. Men can be strags as well. So it's a universal term. It's not just women. So you know, hey, I mean, I'm still working on myself, but I'd have to say I'm still on some strag shit, unfortunately. But I'm definitely working on myself, but self improving. But at the end of the day, partnership is definitely valuable, hands down. And it has something to do with business as well as personal. A lot of times it helps. I understand, like, a lot of times guys, they want that woman at home no matter what. They willing to lie as much as they can. They willing to do as much as they can so they can keep that woman at home, so they can keep that family together. I mean, at the end of the day, once you start having children, you want your children to be with their mom, and then you want to be with the mom and stuff like that. So a lot of guys, they'll do whatever they can to try to keep the family together, and I get it. And it definitely, if you can, that definitely helps. But a lot of times you just get involved with the wrong person, and it makes you not want to ever even get involved again. And it just puts a bad stain on your life and your relationship. And a lot of people never recover from that. But the thing is that it's definitely this.
The shit's chess, it ain't checkers.
So this is all I have for today. I think I'm gonna leave you with this guy here.
If you don't think money can buy happiness, you don't know where to shop. You can get money and then go save the world. You can get money and save the forests in Brazil. You make money and go save global warming. But without money, you can't save a fucking thing. Don't you understand? Don't the fucking idiots on YouTube understand that? Until you make some shekels, until you make some fucking coin, you can't help anybody. Because if love got the job done, you wouldn't all be fucked up.
Message.